Welcome to the bonus lesson for complex movement on the gimbal. I am here with the lovely Ilsa, who will be our model today, our actress. And behind the camera, filming me, is Atiba, who will be the demonstration student. So after I show a move, Atiba is going to also create a move, and we'll see how he does. So you'll get to see how a student interprets my teachings, and I'll give him a little bit of feedback on how he does. So let's start off with creating an improvised, complex gimbal movement that involves movement of both the actress and movement of the camera. So what I have in mind here is somehow having Ilsa discover this egg spaceship piece of art behind us. That's the goal that we have in mind. Beyond that, there isn't really a plan for how this shot should go. All I know is the shot needs to end with her somehow discovering this egg. So what I've got here on the lens is an oval aperture adapter. It's called an anamorpho adapter. Basically what it does is it creates a stretched out looking background, and if there's any lights in the shot, those will also look stretched out. Now the reason I like this look is because it sort of simulates the look of an anamorphic lens. It doesn't completely simulate it because you don't get the nice lens flares that you get when you're shooting real anamorphic, but it simulates part of the look, and then I can add the flares in later in post if I want. So in order to make it look right, I have to letterbox the image in post. And letterboxing is when you add black bars on the top and the bottom of the shot. So I think for my ending frame, I want to have Ilsa be in a full shot, and she's a little too close right now. So Ilsa, will you go as far from me as you can? Yeah, go further away. There, yeah, full shot like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to enable the 2:3:5 aspect ratio indicator here. This is two lines that show me if she's within the frame of the wide aspect ratio I'm going to use for the final video. So let's figure out the beginning of the shot. So I like this chair. I like where it's placed. If Ilsa's sitting here facing this way, and she has to rotate her head as she walks that way, so that adds an extra layer of movement for her and the camera. But the one thing that would look awkward is if she had to stand up and manually move this heavy chair in order to walk. So I'm just gonna keep the chair at 45 degrees at the start of the shot. That way she doesn't have to move it at all. So now I'm framing you up for the start of the shot. I'm definitely gonna be on autofocus. I've got face tracking enabled. It just found your face, so we're all good with that. I'm going to start maybe further back, moving towards you. 3, 2, 1, look around. Oh, lost focus. Okay, my camera was having trouble with the focus. Let's try changing the sensitivity to responsive. And let's try changing the speed to fast. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay. On your phone, there we go. Look up. There we go. I think that tracked okay. That's a cut. That was just a test for focus. If I'm not watching where I'm going, I'm gonna hit something. So I have to transfer my attention at this point to my environment. Sometimes I use a spotter when I do complex shots like this, but in this case I'm gonna go at it solo. It might take me a few takes. It usually takes more than one. One good thing about this environment that I'm in, by the way, it's nighttime and the lighting's gonna stay consistent until all the shops close. But I should be mindful of when everything's gonna close, which I believe is in about, I don't know, half an hour. So I have maybe 30 minutes to get the shot. Let's give it a try. Phone, looking up, and standing. Okay. I just realized that it'd be really cool if I walk up the staircase in this shot, but the 50mm lens was a little too tight. Even though I would prefer the look of the 50, I like the camera move better if the lens is a bit wider and I'm able to get the egg in the shot. So I switched over to the 28mm f2 lens, which is what's currently on my camera, and the anamorphic adapter doesn't work on this lens, unfortunately. So I lose my anamorphic look. She needs to look up to justify the camera going up. So at the end, I'm gonna have you look up more toward the top of the egg as you take your picture. That way it'll seem more natural that the camera's rising. So let's try it. And action. Looking up. Okay, I just thought of one more thing I'm going to add to the shot, which might make it cool. I'm going to try to speed ramp it at the end.
Right.
As I go up the stairs, because going up the stairs is moving a little too slow for my tastes. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hold still once you reach your final point. And that final point has to sort of coincide with when I go up the stairs. Okay, action. Looking at the phone, turn, and stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing and looking. Just hold still. Hold perfectly still. So that took longer than expected. It was more difficult than I expected, which is actually pretty normal when I do these kinds of complex shots. I usually have to do a lot of inventing, a lot of reconfiguring of the motion on the fly as I'm rolling. It's just part of the game, I guess, and it's part of what makes it fun. It's perfectly normal for you to take longer than you think it will take, and make sure that the actor who's in your scene is also aware that that might happen. Now it's your turn, Atiba. You are going to do a complex gimbal move, and I'll shoot your behind the scenes. So let's get started. What do you have in mind?
What I have in mind is that Ilse is starting at the stairs. She's walking down through this area right here, and then she ends watching up to the tower.
Okay, now I'm just gonna watch you work.
Didn't feel that good because I was getting too far from Ilse at that point right there. So I have to figure something out to get more close to her. I wanted to have it like a medium shot, so maybe I have to find another way through this area because it's a little bit obstructed by other people and some things. So I have to be, I have to think about it. My point is that she is discovering this nice tower bell. So
The tower.
The tower.
Is the tower clear in your shot?
Only half of it, so yeah.
Will the audience know what she's looking at?
No, no.
Okay, so that's just in your head.
Yeah.
You don't get to explain that to the audience at any point, right?
Exactly.
The image has to explain it.
Yeah.
So let's say she's looking at the lights instead, because that's much easier.
Yeah, okay.
And you just make sure that you end up getting a clear shot of what she's looking at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
But before you get a shot of what she's looking at, you want to get a shot of her discovering the thing.
Yeah.
So you need a clear shot of her face.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so let's work
Right.
that out. Got some people, holding for these people. You're clear.
All right, 1, 2. Yep.
Cut it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to do a safety?
Sorry?
Before the gimbal dies, let's do a safety. Let's just do another one real quick before the gimbal dies.
Okay, right.
You should.
Because my framing at the last part.
Right, you just don't even think about it. If you think you've got it, right away, do another one. And that way, you can go home knowing that you got the shot instead of wondering. All right, I want to say thank you very much to my model Ilsa and to my co-shooter Atiba for helping me out with this lesson. And I hope that you learned something about doing more complicated gimbal moves. Don't be afraid if it takes you 20 takes, 30 takes, whatever it takes you, as long as you have a patient enough actor and as long as you have an environment where you can run it again and again. Get it perfect because the audience will only see the last take. All right, I will see you in the next lesson. Thanks so much.